Jon Jones and Tom Aspinall. Now, I got to tell you guys, I can't make any money on this topic. I cannot make. I've come at it every different possible way, including there's something in the business that I'm in right here that you guys like. You just don't know that you like it. But one of the numbers and traits that I look for and I look to exploit is when I can personalize something. Right? I read Tom Aspinall said. Go from there. Well, to personalize it would be, I was speaking to Tom Aspinall, and Tom told me, right now it's called personalizing. So I talked to Aspinall, I talked to Jones. I talk about Aspinall, I talk to Jones. I talk about Aspinall calling out Jones through the media that I read somewhere. I talk about Jones responding to Aspinall through the media that I read somewhere. I can't make any money on this. I cannot get people to be interested, and I've tried to figure out why. Because the law of supply and demand, like if you think you're an economics expert and you went and got a PhD, you wasted your entire life. Okay, 15 minutes I can explain all economics to you, and I do mean all of them. Supply and demand. The end, get up and walk out. Now, the reason I tell you that is it's a very real concept, and Jon Jones is prospering at this point in his career from that. I mean, Jon Jones popped his head in one time in 4 years. Oh, that can't be true. Yes, that was March of last year. Oh my goodness, Jon Jones won the heavyweight championship in March of last year. I didn't realize that. I did not realize that. And he'd sat for 3 years going into that. Wow. So one time in 4 years, Jon dipped his toe in the pool. Oh, by the way, weight class he'd never been, wins the world championship, never gets hit, out of there into the showers before he could break sweat in less than 5 minutes. Right? I mean, any way that you possibly want to cut up the laws of supply and demand, Jon is benefiting from that. Now you have Tom, and people love to tell me that Tom isn't a draw. Now, that's fair. Go ahead. Like, you're not insulting Tom by saying that. That's a real truth to an extent. Everybody's working towards that, and you're never there until you're there. Leon Edwards would be a fine example, but his star has absolutely skyrocketed, right? Just for example, he wasn't there until he's there. He's not doing anything different. He's not calling himself something different. He's not acting different, behaving different, training with different people. Sometimes it takes a minute. Now, I don't buy the Tom isn't to draw a narrative completely, because I've seen him fight at home on 2 separate occasions, and it was sold out, and he was the main event. Now, he did have the benefit all the way down from Molly to Patty, even Drake weighed in on it, but he was still the main event, and he still gets the credit. Then we bring him across the pond, we put him at Madison Square Garden, and it's an absolutely sold-out event, of which he was the feature match. I mean, in many ways, he was the feature match. And even if that came together very late, that parity and newness of Tom having the courage to step forward and take on Sergey, right? Sergey Pavlovich was the one that was going to make Jon Jones quit. He was the one, that was the boogie monster in the closet, just to remind you of that time frame. And even if they came in late, they got so much media and attention. I don't think that it's accurate to say that Tom didn't have an active participation in that. Thus, I don't think that it's fair and accurate to say Tom's not a draw. Now, why do I tell you that? Because if I got one guy that's a star, I don't even need the other guy. That's very rare. In the history of boxing, there was only 2 athletes, Oscar De La Hoya and Mike Tyson, that could draw on their own. In the history, even Muhammad Ali could not draw. He needed to have an opponent. Now, I think you need to amend that list to add Floyd Mayweather. And I think in MMA, you would amend that list and you would put forth Conor McGregor. And the reason I'm sharing that with you is I got 2 guys that are good, solid draws. Right? I got Jon Jones, right? The greatest talent, and you decide how you want to finish that. Of his era, of current time, of all time, like, you decide how you want to finish it. But even a great hater is going to agree. You can start the sentence with that, right? Jon Jones' greatest hater is not going to be able to deny that the sentence starts with Jon Jones, greatest of. Debate's just on how you finish it. Then you have Aspinall, who appears to be the future. I think that Aspinall is England's biggest star. Now, That's a crown that Michael Bisping held, and he held alone for a meaningful amount of time. Then Dan Hardy came in and all of a sudden was getting a little bit of shine with that. I get how good Leon is, but the rest of the world doesn't fully. Right? Like, we're just kind of starting to understand, wow, about Leon. And I share that with you because I do think that Tom is England's biggest star, but there's still something about Tom versus Jon, and there's a miss. Where I come back to, I can't make any money with it. What does that mean when I say, it means I can't get you guys interested. I can't get you to click. Get paid on clicks over here. Get paid on engagements. I can't get thumbs up, thumbs down. I can't get comments. There's something about that. And for me, what's more interesting right now is trying to figure out what that something is. I love to break down the different aspects of the business, which is nothing more than psychology of the fan. That's it. So to build an anticipation, which is the only way you can make money over here, you must first satisfy the psychology of the fan, and you guys are missing something. What is it? Now, between Jon Jones and Tom, okay, I have missed, and I've looked for this. I've been looking and thought maybe it was somewhere. I asked my buddy Ryan. I go to our production team. I got Ethan on the phone over here. Was there an official call out? I trust that there was, but I didn't see it. And I don't think there'd be any reason to believe that Jon Jones had done it, and I missed it. It would have to have been done by Tom, who has made it very clear that he believes he should fight Jon, that he believed the night that he won the interim championship, it signified and meant that he was fighting Jon. All sorts of Tom Aspinall discussions and conversations about he and Jon. But did he ever officially challenge Jon? I didn't see it. And I bring that because it does change. It is meaningfully different. If you were to try to tell the story right now that Jon Jones has refused the challenge of Tom Aspinall, I could not tell you you're right. I didn't see it. If you want to say isn't interested in the match, he's going to retire before the match. If you want to say he's giving him a stiff arm, or UFC's promoting and he's trolling, he's going, you go right ahead. But for Jon Jones to have turned down the challenge, guys, I don't remember when he was challenged. And I was one of the first people to talk to Tom. In that regard, I can personalize it because he came right up to the set of ESPN, of which I happen to be. And he thought he was fighting Jon. He thought that's exactly what it meant. He didn't know if that was going to be after Stipe, or maybe, maybe Stipe doesn't get in there and they redo it to Jon. Now you've got this new interim business, which was not part of the story one day prior. It was a foregone conclusion, but I'm not asking about that, guys. I'm not asking did he assume. I'm not asking if he's right or wrong to assume. I'm asking did he challenge Jon? And I don't remember that. And I just see it as such an opportunity, right? And this is me. This is the troll in me. I never got called a troll in my whole life, but I also didn't do the sport at a time when that was a word. Okay, I didn't really even know what that meant. He's trolling. And I share that with you because it would be looked at and perceived that Jon Jones is here and Tom is here. And it would be looked at and perceived that because the undisputed belt being higher than the interim belt. And when I share with you it's an opportunity, it is an opportunity. Jon Jones won a lot of things. He hadn't won an interim championship. Jon Jones is a lot of things. He isn't the interim champion. Now, does that interest him at all? Is that silly? I don't know. That's why I admitted that it was a troll job. But what I'm sharing with you is Tom perhaps, and see, Tom's a true martial artist, right? He's got his own father in his corner, right? I mean, that is very much, that's a martial artist. We've only got two guys whose father's in their corner. We got Stephen Thompson, we got Tom Aspinall. True martial artists. So see, a true martial artist would not bend or break the rule that undisputed is here and I am therefore here. So I have to take what I can get from him. And I offer, when it's a troll job, that Tom offered to put up his belt. He offered to put up his championship. He offered Jon a shot at his championship. It's not like that isn't anything. It is something. It was a day of celebration for Curtis Blades. Well, why? Curtis has been in England. He's been a main event. He's fought Tom. He didn't celebrate any of those. Why was it a day in the Blades house to celebrate? Because the title's on the line. It is a title. It is a very real title. I don't know where that's going to get him. I don't know if that's going to give him the belt, but I feel as though Tom has missed something. I will put this on Tom. not Jon. I blame Tom. But what am I blaming Tom for? And I believe the story lacks one thing: an official challenge.